Okay, today I'm going to ask a very serious question to all my podiatry colleagues. And this is something I want you to think about. You have a patient sitting in front of you. Would that patient be better off with orthotics? Just stop and let that sink in. You've got a patient in front of you. Forget about whatever problem they've come in with. I'm not going to get into the details of that. But would the patient be better off with orthotics? Or if you want to call them orthoses, you can call them orthoses, whatever makes you feel better. If they would be better with orthotics, then let the patient know. Do not think, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm selling orthotics to these patients. It's really, would the patient be better off with having orthotics? And if they would, you should explain that to the patient. Now, this is the other part of the question, though. If they would not be better off with the orthotics, if you go, no, with their problem, the orthotic would make no difference whatsoever and would make no difference to them as an individual, as a person, they do not need orthotics. Then if you are giving them orthotics, you are a con man, you're a con person. So keep that in mind. If a patient needs and can benefit from having orthotics, then you should explain it to them. It's really that simple. And if you're not doing the right thing by your patients. Now, if you're prescribing them and they don't need them, you think there's a better alternative, then you're being a con person if you're only doing it just to make the money. If you've got somebody working with you and maybe their orthotic conversion rate is a little bit low, and normally when you'll talk to them about it and ask them that question, they might go, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm a salesperson. That's one of the dumbest things I ever hear somebody say, because it's not about being a salesperson. Does the patient need the orthotics? Will the patient be better off with the orthotic? Now, sometimes someone might have a particular problem they come in with, and an orthotic does not specifically relate to that problem. But if I had a patient who came in who had ingrown toenail, not related to the foot type in any way, but I noticed that their foot type would definitely be better with an orthotic long-term, and I can see the early signs of a deformity starting, then I would say to them, oh, by the way, let me just point something out to you. And I would start to educate them about orthotics. Now, I wouldn't push it if they didn't want to know anymore, but at least I would start the conversation. So I always think if the patient would be better off with orthotics, if it's going to help them overall, whether it helps them with that specific problem or another problem, then I think as a health professional, as a podiatrist, you should be explaining that to them. But if they do not need them, do not go pushing orthotics on anyone. And if you feel that you're a salesperson, when you explain orthotics to them, then you're going to start questioning your own motives and why you're explaining it to them. Do they really need them or don't they? And always think another thing. If the patient left your clinic and went down the road and saw a more experienced podiatrist, would that podiatrist explain orthotics to them? And if they would, is it because you just don't know how to explain orthotics properly? Is that part of the problem? And if that is your problem, talk to a more experienced podiatrist in your clinic and say, hey, how can I get over this feeling that I'm feeling like I'm a salesperson? Because that holds so many people back, or so many podiatrists back, from actually being a really good podiatrist. And the more orthotics you prescribe, the better you get at it. And sometimes you might get a little bit confused, and sometimes the patients won't understand what you're saying. But with time, you will get better. But it all goes back to that original question that I said: would the patient be better off with an orthotic? And if they would, then you need to explain it to them. Okay. And if not, don't be a con person. Okay. Hope you get something from this video. And I know there's a lot of people that watch these videos who are not podiatrists. You can apply this to your industry as well. Whatever it is you're going to explain to somebody, to anybody, to a customer, a client, if they're not going to be better off with your service, then don't offer it to them. Everything you do should be helping the individual that you're explaining the information to. I do exactly the same thing with coaching. If I don't think I can help somebody, I'm not going to offer my services to them. But if I think I can help them have a better business, then I'm always going to explain it. Have any questions on this video? Please reach out to me. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, And I'll talk again later on. Okay, bye.